I've had challenging seasons, but I've never, at least yet, knock on wood, had, to my recollection, a moment of like, screw it all and throwing in the towel.
You
But
haven't.
a
Never,
moment
not once
that,
have you done that.
no, I've had hard moments. I dealt with my first ever episode of.
Hey, I'm Kelly Jedele, and this is The Kelly Jedele Show. Here's a lie we've been sold, that you have to pick the career or the kid, the big vision or the bedtime story. I'm calling it. That's not the deal. You can have both. I have built businesses for the last 16 years as a single mom, and you can do it without hustling yourself into the ground, but by choosing strategically every single day. This show is for the woman who wants the business, the brand, the freedom, and the family. All of it. So grab your coffee, your kid's juice box, whatever you got in your hand. Let's get into it.
Today's guest is someone I've known literally her whole entire life, and one of my favorite humans on the planet, my daughter, Carli Vinciguerra. Carli is a musical theater performer and graduate of Montclair State University with a BFA in musical theater. She has brought incredible characters to life on stage, including Wednesday Addams in The Addams Family, Mary Delgado in Jersey Boys, and Zanita Shin in The Music Man. Most recently, she made her New York City debut as both a puppeteer and Fraggle in Fraggle Rock, adding an exciting new chapter to her growing career. Along the way, she's also served as dance captain for New Works and continues to evolve as a performer, artist, and storyteller. But beyond all of her accomplishments, she's simply my daughter. I've had the privilege of watching her grow from a little girl with big dreams into an incredibly talented, resilient, and kind young woman. I'm so excited for you to get to know her the way I do. Welcome to the show, Carli.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, baby girl. Oh my gosh, how exciting to see you here.
Good thing you kept it together.
I definitely kept that together.
Yeah,
That was me performing me. Oh my goodness gracious. It's so great to have you here on this show, the Kelly Jedele Show.
I'm so happy to be here.
Carli
Fan.
Vinciguerra, big fan. Oh, I'm a big fan of
Long-time fan.
yours. Longtime fan of yours. Yes. Okay. Well, good. Okay, so I have a little question for you.
Yes.
You've played some incredible roles, from Wednesday Addams to Mary Delgado, but I want to go all the way back. Do you remember the moment when performing stopped being something you enjoyed and started feeling like, oh, this might actually be who I am? And what was going on in our lives at that time?
Yeah. I mean, this is a common question for any performer. And I always say from the get-go, Puck, A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, me too.
I just had so much joy in that show.
That show is so you.
Oh, it was so much fun. That was my first ever real professional show experience at the Zach Theater in downtown Austin. But if I'm really thinking about it, though, it would probably be my first musical, because that joined together dance and performing all in one. And that was when I got to be Baby June in Southwestern University's production of Gypsy.
Which was like the next year, right?
Literally, it was, because I did Puck at Zach the summer between 4th and 5th grade. And then I did Gypsy at Southwestern with the director from Midsummer
Right.
at Southwestern. And what was going on in our lives was damn near everything.
Yeah,
that was a very
That was a
chaotic-
spicy time. That was a spicy
That was
time.
a very spicy time for the Jedeleras. The Jedeleras, Vinciguerra, Jedelera, that's us.
Yes, that's the Jedeleras.
The Jedeleras, that was a very rocky time, and I think that really solidified my love of theater, though, because that was such an outlet for me.
It was.
And I had so much joy in those rehearsals and on that stage and with that cast. And regardless of everything that was going on in our lives, which was my dad had just moved out of my
Neighborhood.
childhood home, out of the
Yeah.
neighborhood. He lived like 45 minutes to an hour away then with his new wife, my stepmom, who we love.
We love her. And it was a change.
transition.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
all
it
of
was a
us.
change.
Yeah, we had to get adjusted.
And we had just moved in with a previous partner of yours.
Right?
And-
Fiance at the time.
At the time. And you were transitioning the business into a new office space.
Oh,
like-
that was happening all at that time. Oh, yes.
There was a lot going on.
Yeehaw.
And this show was happening
Right
also
then.
like an hour away.
And we had Cookie.
And we had a little dog, and Mom is like doing crazy hours at work, and then immediately after school we're driving like an hour north
Straight
of Austin
to
straight to
Georgetown.
rehearsals. And I was just having a grand old time, making your life so much more difficult than that season, but I
was
loved
along
it.
for the
And
ride.
you were.
I was
never a
so-
burden. I never felt like a burden.
You weren't. I mean, you were living your passion, and I get to be co-pilot. I mean, it was everything for me. Like,
Yeah, I think that's the moment it clicked too. Like I was just so happy, and I felt so supported in that too, in that joy,
Yeah.
which was huge for me.
and we still have friends from that show.
We do.
I mean, that in that time frame, I mean, those people are still along for the ride. It's wild because it was like a pivotal moment in our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, an actor from that show has gone on to do some really, I mean, a lot of them are still in theater, but one of
Yeah.
the actors, one of the guys that played my newsboy, has gone on to do some like blockbuster films and stuff. So
That's right. I remember you
Yeah.
telling me that.
yeah, and we still keep in contact. So
That's wild and crazy.
yeah, I probably say that show, Baby June. I need to circle back and play Dainty June for any musical theater fans out there. That's
Yes.
a grown-up
Let's
version
throw that
of
in.
Baby June. So if anyone is casting a
You were the cutest baby June. You so committed to the bit. It was so fun. So fun watching you do that. That was so fun. And I brag on you all the time. I'm like, my kid started theater learning Shakespeare at 9 years old. I mean, who does that? You do.
Funny too because
Swinging
when I was
in.
cast in that show, I didn't know who Puck was.
Yeah.
And if you don't know A Midsummer Night's Dream, I don't blame you. Puck is kind of one of the leads.
Yeah.
If not the lead of the show.
Yeah, it starts and ends the show.
It starts and ends the show and is kind of one of the only characters that exists in
spirity
all of the
sprite.
worlds. Sprite fairy time.
Yeah.
And first day of rehearsals, I was like, I say a lot of words.
I say a lot of words, and you memorized them all. It's wild to me. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so another. People see the lead roles, the applause, the graduation photos, but they don't always see the auditions that don't work out. The understudy roles, the rejections, and the moments you question yourself. Was there a specific moment during college or a production when you thought, I don't know if I can do this? And what helped you keep going?
Now, this is an interesting question for me personally because the connection I have to what I do, the connection I have to theater feels like an innate part of my person. It feels like a part
Yeah.
of my being.
You were born this way.
Yeah. So I've had challenging seasons, but I've never, at least yet, knock on wood, had, to my recollection, a moment of like, screw it all and throwing in the towel.
You
But
haven't.
a moment,
Never,
a moment
not
that-
once have you done that.
Yeah, no, I've had hard moments. I
Yeah.
had a like most recently I had a hard moment in the fall semester of my junior year of college. I dealt with my first ever episode of depression. I am generally an anxious person, but not a depressed person.
Yeah.
I am very up and at it, a little too much, hence the anxiety. But depression is not usually in my wheelhouse.
It hasn't been, no.
I got sick that like October, November, which is also not normal for me.
Nope.
I was blessed with a very nice immune system.
Rock it out.
But yeah, thank you. But I got sick and it kind of like affected my mental health as well. And I kind of spiraled into a mini like depressive episode. I know now. In the moment, I didn't know what was going on. I was just sleeping all day and not wanting to do anything.
Right.
And that was a really hard time for me.
That lasted a few
Navigate
weeks.
that. It was like a month or so.
Yeah.
And I am just so grateful and lucky to have amazing parents and an amazing support system. My dad flew up to visit
Yeah.
me that first week of December.
Yeah.
He dropped everything and was like, I'm coming to see you. I'll be there.
Yeah.
And I remember you were there for Thanksgiving as
Yeah.
well, which was a lifesaver. And we went to go see the Macy's Day Parade. And
As
I think-
gumdrops.
Yeah,
In the rain.
It was raining.
It was the most fun, horrible time ever.
It was like soggy and rainy and cold, and
I
we were
mean,
like in these little.
And we were so happy in our ponchos.
We looked like little gumdrops, and we were having the time of our lives. Everyone else miserable. We're like, oh
We were making friends.
yeah. There's a French lady next to us. We're chatting it up.
And then we went like on just a little tour of food in New York for coffee and brunch and
I think that's just what I need when I'm in those moments is connection with my support system.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I'm able to get out of the fog, I'm able to tap back into that joy and love for theater. And I always sometimes I get separated from that, but I can always find my way back. And my people help me find my way back.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever had a moment of complete, no more of this, but I have had moments of separation from my goal and from my dreams. But I rely on my community heavily.
Yeah, I can see that you've reached out different times when stuff is going on, and it always warms my heart. Like, I'm like, oh, she likes me.
She can be helpful.
She still needs me a little bit.
I will always need my mama. Are you kidding?
Oh, no. Okay, so you grew up watching me build a business while raising you as a single mom. And there were probably days when I was answering client calls, dealing with employees, and trying to make it to your performances all at the same time. Looking back now as an adult, what was it actually like growing up in that environment? And what do you think it taught you, both the good and the challenging parts?
I distinctly remember sitting on your bed at one of our first houses that we lived a long time in, where the business started, and learning that Annie was on Broadway. And what do you mean I can't be in it? And what do you mean? What do you mean we're in Austin, Texas, and we can't just drop everything and fly to New York and get me an agent and I can be an Annie on Broadway? That's rude. What do you mean I can't do that? I remember that being like a challenging thing to grasp. That show was on Broadway 2012.
Because you had people in your life that were doing that. Mm-hmm. Like their parents would.
Yeah, their parents would fly them up. Or they had, if their parents were together, like the mom and the kid.
The mom would go do auditions in New York.
Do auditions and could get them agents and whatnot and fly up for auditions for agents, fly up for auditions for Broadway shows. And I remember you telling me, that's just not something we can do for you right now, baby girl. We just can't, that's not feasible.
Can't swing that.
Yeah. And that felt really unfair in the moment.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we could have done about that. I just had to sit and wait my turn. And that was definitely a challenging part, but I think through that challenge, I escaped being a child actor in a large scale. So maybe that was a beautiful thing. And it taught me patience for sure. But I also gained a lot of, I was in that time I was able to, hone my skills so that by the time I did enter an industry, I was prepped and ready to go. And I also think looking back now, I see how valued I was. At the time, it's easy to be like, oh, mom's running late to my show, or, which you never did. That's a bad example. Oh,
to pick you up from rehearsal.
To pick me up from rehearsal, mayhaps. Or something where she's on the phone right now. Or, I
picked you up when I was on the phone, yeah.
Yeah, I want to tell you about how rehearsal went, and you're on the phone. And in those moments, it can feel like I'm, second rate, or like I'm not valued. But looking back now, it's through all of that, you always made time. Through all of the businesses and the employees are calling you, and this person's out sick today, and this client wants to reschedule, and you're driving me to school, and yet you still it always got done. I was always at the theater camp. I was always, my summer schedule was booked to a T. I always had things
on
going
a spreadsheet.
On a spreadsheet, and we made it happen. And now it's the inverse. It's I can see how much I truly was valued by your effort to be present for me in my life all the time, throughout it all, even though if it didn't feel that way in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and if I may, I see the business parts of what I don't know if this is probably what was caught and not necessarily taught, but I mean, you know the value of networking, and the value of data source, and keeping track of your contacts and who's in the room, and how much it's okay to spend some money because you're using it for strategy points moving forward, and the return on investment. those things I see you doing that in your life right now, with your career and with what you're doing. And it's powerful. Like, I don't know if you learn those things in school, if you learn them just by osmosis from me, or maybe a combination, but I see you doing that. I'm so impressed.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think another like consequence of that is the value of a dollar and being smart with money. We had we were locked into penny pinching. Let me tell you, in the day.
We pinched a little penny or two.
Yeah, we would go through seasons where maybe the business is in a growth period and we're having to scale back things in our personal lives. My mom always made sure that if there was any fall, it fell on her and never on the employees.
Right.
So sometimes that meant mom's cutting her own paycheck.
Yep.
And therefore that means, okay, we had a system. She's like, okay, just so you know, she sold her car and we're going to get this little car now, have a little extra cash in the bank, and we're going to move to this apartment that's a little bit cheaper now, and we're going to get groceries from this store over here because they're a little bit cheaper, and just so you know, like, we're not going to get anything special at this store, like, and we knew, and I understood. And guess what? Now me post-grad, where I have 2 nickels and a dream, I really appreciate those practices that I was taught unintentionally growing up. I feel like I appreciate having luxury and living comfortably, but I am able to, and I have those skills to budget and, reel myself in and
yeah. And you've helped some of your friends with budgets. You've chatted some of your friends with some of the challenges that they had with finances.
Yeah, I realized a lot of my friends never talked about money with their parents. Mm-hmm. Never. Like, it never came up. And I was like, oh, both of my parents, you and my dad, sat me down and showed me your money and told me how it worked and said, I did this, don't do this.
Yeah.
Or I did this, do this. And I was dumbfounded that a lot of my friends didn't have that experience.
Didn't know about discretionary spending, budgeting.
Nothing. Opening a credit card, like mutual
accounts,
funds.
Different accounts.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And I have loved sharing that knowledge because I'm like, money might be taboo in certain settings, but with your children,
you got to share that stuff.
You have to share. How else are they going to know? Because heads up, we're not taught that in school.
No. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Ain't nobody teaching those things.
So what's something you learned from watching me that I probably never really sat down and intentionally taught you? Sounds like money for sure. It could be about...
You did intentionally.
That was intentional.
You were very intentional.
Very intentional. It could be work, relationship, taking risks, recovering from setbacks, or even something you swore you'd never do and now catch yourself doing.
I think something recently that I've really shown love for in your life that I want to inherit more in mine is the value of having other outlets in your life. I think that that's something that you have personally learned recently. Mm-hmm. And I've been watching you learn that and the effect it's had on your mental health and physical health and well-being.
Yeah.
We were so connected at the hip my whole life. I was single mom, only child, and we're besties.
Yeah.
And so
you're
when I went to college,
everything. Yeah.
When I went to college, you were like, and maybe I need a hobby or 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I started that when you were in high school because I was like, oh shit.
Oh no.
Here it comes.
Oh, no.
She's leaving and I'm going to be a basket case and this is not okay. I could see the shadow on the wall. I was like, holy crap, I'm in for it. And so I got a therapist and I got hobbies. I started dancing. Yeah, working out.
We've had a little
friends.
Crochet. We're doing.
I was crocheting for a second.
Walking, got a dog.
I got a new dog. 2 dogs.
Yeah. So and seeing that and the joy and peace that's brought you has shown me, maybe I need a few other outlets as well. And also the way that you intentionally connect with your friends. I really enjoy that. I think my generation doesn't value that as much. We don't talk on the phone. I never just check in with someone for the sake of checking in with someone. You are very intentional. I would be in the car when someone would call you on the phone just to say hey. And I was always be so jealous, honestly. I want that connection with my friends. I think that that's something I've been trying to bring more into my life is intentional relation, especially, now that I am out of school and I'm not really having those forced connections anymore.
Right. Yeah, you don't run into your friends in the hallway.
No.
Yeah, you're not passing them on the street. Yeah, you got to be intentional.
You have to be intentional about relationships as an adult, and I've really seen you be intentional with your relationships.
Yeah.
And it's a great example that you did.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
As a mom, there's this strange experience where you spend years helping someone become themselves, and then one day you realize they're building a life that's completely their own. You're now a college graduate, a professional performer, and creating your own path. What parts of your story feel uniquely yours, separate from me, and what kind of woman do you hope to become in this next chapter?
I mean, my performance career feels entirely my own.
Yeah.
And I remember one day you had shared with me, when you get your Tony, that is your award, and that has nothing to do with me. I don't remember the context in which we were talking about that, but I remember you said something like that. Because I remember we were talking something about how the inverse had happened with one of your friends or something, and someone was like, oh, it was someone's kid had done something bad and they felt guilty as a parent or something, and you used the inverse as an example. You were like, well, that doesn't necessarily reflect badly on you as a parent because they're an adult, their own person now.
Yeah.
And you were like, when you win your Tony, for example, that's not my Tony.
Yeah. Yeah. And I better be in the speech.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, it's a thought. It's a suggestion.
It's a suggestion. After I thank, at the academy and
Right. Just slip mom in there.
Yeah. Of course. So I always have felt supported in that, and obviously without someone to drive me to dance class and voice lessons and rehearsals and shows and buying me shoes and leotards and tights, I would not be here as a performer. But the career I have built, and I'm very proud of that, and I hope to become just I don't know. What kind of woman do I want to be in this next chapter? I'm really loving this new rhythm of life that I'm finding these days. Mm-hmm. Post-grad is a very interesting ride, but it's very similar to what I was doing in college. I was very grateful that
the stakes are just different.
The stakes are different. Yeah, my program prepared me very well for the real world, and I feel very capable. Mm-hmm. And it's not super new and shocking to my system.
Yeah. You just seem like you're continuing on. Like
exactly,
not a lot has changed.
Exactly.
Just the stakes, and you can show up to an audition if you don't or want to or not. Like it's
exactly. Yeah.
There's not. Yeah. The consequences are different.
Yeah, and I have a really nice, survival job I can always go back to. So it's not like if I don't book, there's not food on the table.
Right.
So those stakes are there, but not. It's really just my fulfillment as a human is not there if I'm not doing theater. And
right.
I have noticed that, and I know that about myself. So it's keeping in tune with, maybe I need to go to a dance class to live and not necessarily to learn and network and connect. Maybe I just need to go to a voice lesson to sing and not to, hit that high C.
Yeah.
Just to express myself, because that's kind of the balance that I'm finding in my career these days. Is it's hard when what I do is also what fulfills me as a person. It's beautiful and amazing and lovely, but it's a double-edged sword of when I'm not doing it, not only am I not working, I'm not, doing a job, I'm also sad.
Right. Yeah. You're not fulfilled.
Sad and not fulfilled. And
yeah.
I'm not, like, I feel like I don't have a purpose
when
I'm not doing that. And so I want to get to a state I think this next, wrapping into what kind of woman I want to be in this next chapter of life is content in all aspects of my life.
Yeah.
I want to feel content.
Rounded. Yeah.
Grounded. Yeah. Grounded in all the things. Mm-hmm. I love the way I feel when I'm on stage, and nothing will ever be able to completely compare to that.
Right.
That's not the goal.
Yeah.
But the goal is to feel more at ease in my personal day-to-day life that's not on stage.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, thank you, my sweet girl, for coming and joining me on this podcast. It's been so fun having you here, especially to be my first guest. May you return many, many times, and may the world get to know you, Carlita Vinciguerra. May you have a beautiful rest of your day. And here is Fraggle Rock. Go see it if you're in New York City or going to visit. I'll be there later on this month. And then just continue being the badass woman that you are. I'm so proud to be your mama.
Likewise.
I miss you tons.
Oh, I miss you. I'm so excited to see you later.
All right. Thank you for everyone for joining us this week. We will see you next week. Have a great day. That's it for this week. If something in this episode hit, do me a favor. Send it to one woman in your life who needs to hear it. That's how this community grows, one honest conversation at a time. Follow the show, leave a review, and come find me on Instagram. I read everything. Remember, strong doesn't mean solo. I'll see you next week.